What's up, Mason Pot fam? Let's talk distillate. What is it? Is it valuable? Here are my thoughts, real quick. I like to call distillate the pink slime of cannabis concentrates. I'm just referring to like some McDonald's cheap shit because that's what distillate is. It's the bottom of the barrel shit that nobody else wants to use elsewhere. So it's like the trim and shake and all this other shit. Now, when I bring that up, I do trim and shake edibles myself, but the difference between the ones I make is I'm not burning off everything else besides just a THC or CBD. Still in that trim and shake, there's still other terps, there's still other cannabinoids. Sure, it might be like a muggier higher. It might not be as good as using some really nice fresh flower or some concentrates, but there still is way more of an entourage effect versus when I'm using trim and shake and somebody's using it for distillate. Essentially, what you're doing is boiling everything else off and evaporating it. So all you're left with is just the THC and CBD. Obviously, it's easy to make the liquor alcohol reference because all liquor is distilled. So that's essentially what's happening. Not to talk about liquor too much, but I don't know if you knew this, that all whiskey starts out clear during the distillation process, but it gets that color from being aged in a barrels. Blew my mind when I learned that. And basically that's kind of what's happening in the distillate world is a lot of people don't know. A lot of people go by, "Oh shit, this is 90% potency, but it's just THC, dude." There's no entourage effect, there's no other cannabinoids, there's no other terps there, there's no other flavonoids. And sure, maybe they add in some terps afterwards, maybe they add in some botanical terpenes, maybe they add in other flavonoids, but I can pick that shit out in a second, bro. I'm like, "This isn't weed, dude." I like the taste of weed. I'm like, "This tastes artificial as fuck." I have friends that like that, like, fake flavor taste. It's nice to them. I guess it's easier to consume, kinda doesn't smell as weedy maybe when they're smoking it or whatever, but the high is still not the same. I always make the reference, I could puff on a distillate vape all day, dude, and still, get stoned, but all of a sudden I hit one hit of a bong, I'm way more stoned than that because it's the full flower effect, the entourage effect, everything acting together synergistically. And I'm not here to bash distillate. I'm just here to raise awareness. I think there's a time and a place for distillate, and I think it can add that extra potency, especially when you're adding other cannabinoids in your infusions and stuff. But I think it's important to talk about, and I think it goes overlooked, especially when it comes to edibles. Because especially newcomers in the game and even OGs, dude. Most OGs know. But newcomers and kind of intermediate aspect don't really know what they're buying. Oh, that's a cool gummy package. It says sativa on it. It says indica. It's this, it's this. It's like, dude, it's really all the same shit. It's just distillate, and maybe they're adding in some other terpenes at the end. But if it's distillate edibles, at the end of the day, they can't really claim sativa or indica because it's straight up not, dude. Even if you add that shit on the back end, it's not the same. It's not the way it was intended to be consumed. And that's where it kind of gets me, as you could tell, I'm getting a little amped up on this one a little bit because I see people paying 20, 30, $35 for 100 milligrams of distillate, dude, which is mind blowing. But it also gives me props to the company's marketing and packaging. It shows how important that is. And that's why this video here is important to me as an education piece to raise awareness on this distillate game, man. Because you can make your own shit. You can have that full entourage effect. You could have the same input source. They use trim, shake, bottom of the barrel. I could have trim, shake, bottom of the barrel. They burn everything else besides typically THC or CBD. I infuse everything and there's still terpenes, there's still cannabinoids, there's still other elements to the flower there to give it more of an entourage effect. So just because you start with the bottom of the barrel doesn't mean it has to end that way. That being said, again, of course, better flower, better concentrates would equal a better high. I think I've addressed everything I want to address here. I don't want to go too into the actual process of the distillation process, but drop a comment. Let me know if you want me to. It's a four-step process that when you see it, it's pretty mind-blowing, dude. When you see this first step sludge that comes out, and that's why I'm saying, dude, pink slime. It should be called green slime in this case for real. It's pretty mind-blowing, guys. I hope this video finds you well. I hope I don't seem like too big of a hater on distillate. I'm not. I'm just trying to raise awareness. But for real, I rarely consume distillate. I like to have it on hand. If I had a nice infusion, do like a nice CBD infusion, then just add a little THC in there. That would be a cool way to do it. I think there's cool ways to add it to your arsenal, but I think it can be deceiving in the marketplace. And I think there just needs to be more awareness spread. So thank you for chilling. See you guys soon.